If you think you're too old or too young to start a business, I'm about to help you get rid of that limiting belief forever. And I'm going to show you why your age is actually your secret weapon and not your weakness. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why age is just a number when it comes to building wealth. And I'll also give you the specific advantages your age group has that others don't. So look, I get it. People love to tell you you're too young or you're too old to start a business. But all of that is actually complete nonsense, and this is why. So I started my first $1 million business at 22. Everyone said to me I was too young, too experienced. They told me I should get a real job, and they also told me that I should wait until I'm older. But what they didn't understand is that being young back then was actually my biggest advantage. So back then I had no mortgage, no kids to support, I had no golden handcuffs to a corporate job, and I could take risks. So I could work 16-hour days if I wanted, and I could pivot pretty quickly when something wasn't working. Now, I've worked with students across every age group who've built really incredible businesses. My student Holly, she's based in Australia, and she was only 19 years old when she launched her business Sugar Coated. And her business is generating 200 to 400 orders per week. So it's a really fun gift box business, and her business was generating 200 to 400 orders every single week in its first year. So these young entrepreneurs, they are able to build profitable businesses because they have the energy to work around the clock, and they're also very intuitive with the digital platforms. Now, on the flip side, I've also seen people over 60 create insanely successful companies. So if we look at this one, Colonel Sanders, he built the KFC empire when he was 62 years old. Vera Wang, she launched her bridal fashion empire when she was 40. Ray Kroc, he joined McDonald's when he was 52 years old, and look what it's turned into today. So these old entrepreneurs, they actually bring something that I didn't have at age 22. So they bring decades of life experience. They've got established professional networks, and they've just got wisdom to avoid costly rookie mistakes because they've been around for a little while. So stop waiting for the perfect age to start because there just isn't one. Now, one of my favorite quotes is the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is right now. And here's what we're going to cover in this video. So first I'm going to expose the age myths that are keeping you stuck and keeping you broke. And then I'm going to show you the specific advantages that your age gives you that you are probably ignoring. And finally, I will give you age-specific strategies to help you leverage your unique position for maximum success. So whether you're 18 or 80 years old, you're going to walk away from watching this video knowing exactly how to turn your age into your biggest business advantage. So let's start off with the I'm too young myths. So people tell you that you need experience first and that you should work for someone else to go and learn the ropes. That no one's going to take you seriously because of your age. And I feel that because sometimes as a young entrepreneur, I didn't feel like people took me seriously because of my age. But some of the most successful entrepreneurs, they all started young. So if we look at Bill Gates, he started Microsoft when he was 20 years old. Mark Zuckerberg, he launched Facebook at 19. And I built my first multi-million-dollar business at 22 out of a spare room in my flat and in my bedroom. So the get experience first advice is absolutely terrible advice because it just assumes that you can't learn while building your own business. Now, newsflash, you will learn much faster running your own company than you ever will working for someone else or just studying it at uni. Now, let's talk about the other myth, the I'm too old. So maybe you think that you've missed your chance, that entrepreneurship is a young person's game and that you should have started 20 years ago. So all of that is complete nonsense, and the I'm too old myth, it just assumes that wisdom, experience, and established networks are somehow disadvantages, and they're absolutely not. So they're actually some of your best advantages. So let's go through the specific advantages that you have at different life stages. From 18 to 25, you have this ultimate advantage of time and drive. And you can afford to take massive risks because you have decades to recover from any failures. You also understand social media and digital marketing intuitively, and you also might have more energy and more time and fewer responsibilities, which just means you can pivot really quickly when something isn't working. Plus, you likely have minimal financial obligations. So, I started my business living in a shared flat with 4 other people. I was shipping products out of my garage, and I could do that because I didn't have a family depending on me or a lifestyle to maintain. So, I think my weekly expenses were like $300 a week or something crazy low back then. These days, I need 10 grand a month just to cover my base living expenses and childcare. From 26 to 40 years old, you're actually in that sweet spot. You've got experience, but you also have energy and you've also got time. So you understand how businesses actually work from the inside. You've seen good management, you've seen bad management. You know what customers really want because you've been dealing with terrible customer service for years. So you probably have some savings to invest at this stage. You definitely have a professional network that you can tap into, and you also understand the value of systems and processes because you've seen what happens when they don't exist. Now, from 41 to 60 years old, you have a wisdom advantage, and that's also incredibly valuable. So, you've lived through the economic cycles, you understand long term thinking, you've got deep expertise in your field, you know how to manage people, you know how to handle stress, you know how to make decisions under pressure, or you'd hope you'd know these things by now. You likely have financial resources to invest properly into your business from day one. So, no more bootstrapping, you don't need to eat ramen noodles, you can afford the right tools and the right help. Now, if you're over 60 years old, you actually have the ultimate credibility and the freedom advantage. You've got decades of expertise that people will pay premium price for. You understand customer service at that level that younger entrepreneurs are still figuring out. And you probably also have time flexibility that younger entrepreneurs don't. And here's the secret. So, older entrepreneurs actually have higher success rates just because they're a lot more strategic with money and they're better at long term planning. Now, let's talk strategy. So, what should you focus on at each stage of your life? At the age of 18 to 30, I would really leverage your digital advantage. So, you grew up with that technology, use that to your advantage. I would generally start off with low cost business models like e commerce, digital products, services. All of the above require more hustle than capital, so you don't need a lot of money to get into those. Don't try to compete on experience because you don't have it. Compete on innovation, compete on speed, and just find new ways to solve old problems. And also partner with older mentors who can provide you that wisdom while you bring that energy and you bring the tech skills. Now, if you're in between 30 and 50, I would leverage your industry knowledge and your professional network. So I'd go looking for opportunities in industries you already understand. You know the pain points, you know the key players, you know the gaps in the market. I've been encouraging all of my students to go out and do a lot more networking, get involved with business groups, go grab coffee with other like minded people. Do not underestimate the power of networking. And for an even easier start, you can start with something like consulting, digital products like trainings, education, or service based businesses. Because again, these require less capital, and you can also launch these while you're still employed. So it's very, very safe and low risk. I would use your management experience to build systems and also hire teams faster than younger entrepreneurs. And if you're over 50, leverage your expertise and your credibility. So I'd focus on premium, high value offerings. People are going to pay more for your wisdom and your proven experience, and also consider businesses that serve your age group. So you understand their needs much better than any 25-year-old ever could. I'd also use your financial resources strategically, so by now you can probably afford to invest in quality from day one instead of trying to do everything yourself. Now, here's the truth: success is not about when you start. It's just about starting with the right strategy for your particular situation. I've seen 60-year-olds outwork 20-year-olds and 20-year-olds out strategize people twice their age. So it really is not about your age. It's just about your willingness to leverage what you have and just take some action. So, no matter what age you are, if you are ready to stop making these excuses and start building the business that you've been dreaming about, I want to help you do that. I've created a comprehensive training that shows you exactly how to identify the right business model for your situation, how to leverage your unique advantages, and build a profitable business, regardless of your age and regardless of your experience level. So, if you want to learn more about this, click the link in the description to access the training now. There is a free video to watch first to learn a little bit more. And remember, you're not too old. Remember, you're not too young. You're exactly the right age to start building your dream life right now. The question is, are you ready to begin?